Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. I got a very interesting comment from a viewer saying that you shouldn't only consider the one-time purchase costs of instruments like this, you should be working out the cost of ownership on a daily basis. Very interesting, let's dig into this. So a range of keyboards like this one, the PSR-SX or the GENOS2, or synthesizer workstations like the MODX MONTAGE have obviously an upfront cost, but we need to think about the cost in terms of dollars per day. And yes, I agree, it's a bit crass to talk about money, prices and costs. This is, after all, our hobby and our passion, not like doing our tax returns. We'll talk about a range of keyboards in this video, comparing the ownership costs of the PSR-SX920, this one, the 720, or the flagship GENOS2. But the same principles apply to your decision to buy perhaps a MODX or a MONTAGE or a JUNO D or a FANTOM flagship. Okay, let's crunch the numbers then. So the GENOS2 is about $5,000. I'm using dollars here, US prices, because most of my viewers are in the US. Now, the lifetime of a product like the GENOS2 typically, I think, is about 7 years. Let's use 7 years as an example here. You buy it for $5,000. Let's say you can sell it for half of that price after 7 years. So you sell it for $2,500. The cost of ownership over 7 years is $2.5 grand. Grand being 1,000 for my non-native English speaking viewers. One of these is $2,400. After 7 years, you'll be able to sell it for $1,200. The cost of ownership, $1,200. SX720 can be bought brand new right now for $1,600. Sell it in 7 years for $800. The cost of ownership over those 7 years is $800. Yeah, some of these numbers to buy the new gear is pretty scary, but when you break it down like this, it starts to look a lot more reasonable. And I'm assuming here we'll be selling these instruments after 7 years in order to buy the next version. Now, we need to assume here that you'll be using the instrument, playing it and enjoying it every single day over that period, and then we can work out the cost of ownership per day. So it breaks down like this. The GENOS2 comes in at $1 for every day. That is the cost of ownership, $2,500 divided by 7 divided by 365. A measly $1 a day. This one, the SX920, is about half the price, just 50 cents or half a dollar every day. The 720 comes in at 30 cents per day. Now, right away, that doesn't seem like an awful lot of money. In fact, probably you and I are wasting more money than that every single day in wasting energy or food waste, or perhaps buying unnecessary treats for us that we don't really need, like sweets, candies, or a cup of expensive coffee, for example. $1 a day to own the very best arranger keyboard ever made. Well, there is the Korg PA5X as well, of course. So let's compare these ownership costs then. So let's say, for example, you're playing your 720, SX720, which is costing you 30 cents every day. If someone came and said to you, wouldn't you rather pay an extra 20 cents and get the 920? I think that's a no-brainer for most of us. Or pay another 50 cents, make it a round dollar, and then all of a sudden, you'll have the GENOS2 in front of you, the very best there is, no compromises, instead of the SX920. I don't know about you, but I think I'd rather pay that extra 50 cents. Now, as I've said before, the instrument does not make the player makes the instrument. It's much more important perhaps to practice and work on your chops than having the very best instrument, but there is no doubt that there is a lot of satisfaction and enjoyment that comes from knowing you have the best of the best, and you don't have that nagging feeling that perhaps if you bought a cheaper model, I should have spent a little bit more and got the flagship over, as we've demonstrated, over a 7-year period, most of us can probably afford that little daily difference, 50 cents extra. Well, I'm not a psychologist or an economist. Is that the word? Economy expert? So I'd love to hear your opinions, so do drop a message down in the comments section below. And once again, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me. I'll see you next time with some actual demonstrations of this stuff. Until then, cheerio.